Showtime. Hello,
Hello.
everyone.
Happy
Welcome back.
Monday.
Happy Cyber Monday. We hope
Oh,
that
yes.
you survived Black Friday, not to mention Turkey Thursday. Uh,
Yes.
Welcome. Thank you. I hope that all of you had a great Thanksgiving or whatever holiday you decide to observe on that day. And that you are probably back at work, maybe. We're back at work here, bringing you the
Yes.
theme park news.
I'm just
We've
water
got a
my
little bit of a short agenda this week.
Yes, we do.
Um,
There wasn't too much.
no, I think that everyone was so exhausted by the Chapek and Iger news from last Sunday. They're just like, you know what? Let's eat some turkey and take the week off from news.
Right. It's just very low key news that we were expecting to come at any
Yeah.
moment.
All right. Well, we've got a couple folks in the chat. Michael Bingham, as always, saying hello with some Christmas music. Welcome back, Michael. Missed you. We've got Blossom and Terry. Hello again. And John typing
Oh,
away. Thank you for making us your background music as you
yes.
work. Okay, well, we've got a few people in, so I think we are just going to kick this thing off in 3, 2.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 167 of the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. I am Seth.
And I'm Carly.
And we are here again to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. And Carly, how have you been? Did you have a festive holiday?
Yes, I had a festive and relaxing holiday. I didn't work at all. I used the time to purge my life of stuff that I didn't need. It was really hard because I don't like getting rid of all the keepsake, like the Epcot Festival little pamphlets. So I keep those in protectors, but I'm trying to really just not be a low key hoarder. And it's I have so much stuff tucked away, but I got rid of so much stuff. So it was not a restful weekend, but it was very productive in my feng shui of life.
That does sound very zen, very cleansing.
Yeah, it
You
really
can see my background. You know, low key hoarder when it comes to theme park things. I am not going to cast any stones.
no,
I
it's
will
so
say that
hard.
we did go antiquing after our big Thanksgiving dinner, and I came back with some more ephemera. I can't resist old postcards and resort
Same.
maps from Disney, especially from the late '80s through the mid '90s. So yeah, my filing cabinet behind me might have gotten a few more additions this weekend.
I support that fully. I found some really crazy things. I found an opening of City Walk pamphlet that I have wrapped up in. I'm very good with keeping things by pristine, so I keep them in sheet protectors or little plastic baggies. I also found paper tickets to Nickelodeon Studios. Like a 2000-ish taping of Slime Time Live. So it
Oh
was really
wow.
fun to look through all that stuff. Obviously, I'm not getting rid of that at all. It's
Yeah,
tucked
yeah.
away.
You
But
can't downsize too much. Come on.
no, I just think in 30 years, I can open up my little museum and it's going to be all this random crap that we have stocked away. So I can't miss that
All
opportunity.
right, I will help you curate that.
Yes,
We'll
please.
combine forces. That sounds great. I got to visit Disney's Hollywood Studios 2 days before Thanksgiving, one of the busiest days of the year. And all I can say is to anyone who's visiting a Disney theme park during the peak season these days, thoughts and prayers. And you know, I paid for the Lightning Lane and the Genie Plus, and it was pretty much the only attractions we were able to do that day. Look for the shows. That's my advice. If you're stuck there on a really busy day, hit the shows because you've got a lot better chance of getting into the Indiana Jones show or the Beauty and the Beast, the Frozen, than that's a lot easier than waiting 3 hours in line for Rise of the Resistance. So
It sounds honestly like torture. I mean, I know that these are like bucket list trips that people are
this,
going on right now, but I mean, it's just like thoughts and prayers because
yeah, yeah,
there's really
yeah,
nothing to do. It's just busy right now. Traveling is tough. Flights are tough. So it's like pack your patience
yep,
or really don't go. Is
yep.
kind of like the only thing I could say.
Well, on that happy
Yeah.
note, I think it's time for us to launch into the news in the queue. Well, speaking of spending the holidays at a Disney theme park, we are going to kick off with a three-pack of Disneyland resort news, starting off with holiday happenings in downtown Disney at the Disneyland Resort, which are now in full swing. Festive decor, shopping, treats, and others going on through the new year.
Yeah, I love this as an option if you are visiting Anaheim and you don't want to buy park tickets for every day. There's really so much you could do between downtown Disney, resort hopping, Trader Sam's, resort dining. And I like that the festival foods aren't just in the park. So basically, at downtown
Hmm.
Disney, without having any park admission, you could try and feel like you're a part of the festivities. They have 25 different seasonal food and drinks. And one of my favorites each season is trying the wacky flavors from Salt and Straw. So that's the ice cream place from the Pacific Northwest that has a location at downtown Disney. They've done turkey ice cream, which was oddly really good. And now this year they're doing a gingerbread cookie dough,
Hmm.
peppermint ice cream. So you can really get, in that festive mood without necessarily going into the parks.
Yeah, and if you maybe need something a little stronger than ice cream to help you cope with the crowds, head on over to Catal and Uva. This is sadly going to be the last Christmas when
Right.
you can visit Catal and Uva because they are being converted into a new concept. And Uva Bar, especially, was always one of my favorite spots for people
Yes.
watching. So you can toast farewell to them with a mistletoe mule, which is vodka, cranberry, lime juice, and ginger beer with a sugared cranberry garnish. And Tortilla Joe's right across the way has got a candy cane Rita, tequila and peppermint schnapps. I'm sure that will taste just as good coming back up as it did going down.
Oh,
Oh.
and then Disney Festival of the Holidays, which is the holiday themed festival inside California Adventure,
Mhm.
they also extend some of the fun into downtown Disney. So again, you don't need a park ticket and you could still try some things from the festival. What sounds interesting to me is this tiki masala pizza.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
that's over
that looks
at
really good.
Naples Ristorante and Bar. And they've also got a dulce de leche tamale at
Ooh,
Tortilla Joe's. And these special menu items go all the way through January 8th. Of course, if you got to do some holiday shopping, uh, downtown Disney's got you set. Everything from the World of Disney to the dress shop to the Star Wars trading post. I love the artwork in Wonderground. If you want to
mhm.
send me anything, um, but and they are teasing that they are Hanukkah and Diwali and Kwanzaa items available. In addition to just the Christmas stuff. So we're always kind of starved for new Hanukkah items when it comes to
Yes.
Disney Park merch.
Very lacking, very, very lacking, but
Yeah.
they're working on it.
Yeah, and if you want to make your own, you don't want to spend some money. There's actually a complimentary holiday crafts table down the near the downtown Disney stage between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. daily, so you can make some garlands for yourself and not spend anything.
Yes, I love that. And of course, there's so much live performances downtown Disney, and it's,
Mhm.
it's not as expansive as, Disney Springs. So it's like you can kind of hear that music flowing throughout. It's kind of one main drag, and they usually have that stage set up in front of the Star Wars trading post, and they have really
Mhm.
awesome music.
Yeah, they're going to have on Fridays through Sundays, now through Christmas, from 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. There's going to be live musical groups on that stage, but you can also find like buskers and musicians all throughout the area, and it really brings the area to life.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
Finally, if you want to not just receive, but also give during this holiday season, bring a toy to Downtown Disney and drop it off for Disney's Ultimate Toy Drive. This supports the U.S. Marine Corps' Toys for Tots. They've been doing this for decades. So you can find donation bins near World of Disney and near the Star Wars Trading Post and also in the hotels. So drop something off by December 12th.
Yes. And then my personal favorite is seeing the holiday decor inside the resorts. My
Mhm,
favorite is the Grand Californian. Their lobby is stunning to begin with. If you haven't been, it's like Wilderness Lodge, Animal Kingdom Lodge,
mhm.
but they do an incredible gingerbread house display. And then what's really popular is their holiday cart. So they do this
Oh, yeah.
Halloween and then also for Christmas, and it's all the treats, like the Mickey gingerbread cookies. They also make little baby shot glasses out of homemade waffles that are lined with chocolate, and then you can get milk in it, or if you want to get like a
Mhm.
alcoholic beverage, those are delicious. And it's just so beautiful. And then the pianist in there. So it's like a whole vibe. You can go there, relax.
That little corner with the fireplace and the
Oh,
chairs is one of my favorite spots on property, even when it isn't Christmas. And during the
mhm.
holidays, sit there with some hot cocoa. Just fantastic. The only thing that would be better than that would be going to the spa, the
Yes.
Tenaya Stone Spa, and get a seasonal scrub, maybe some candy cane foot
Renegade.
treatment, a little massage with some fir tree and eucalyptus. That would definitely help take away some of the holiday stress.
Yes.
Yeah, and as you pointed out, this is a great option if you don't want to burn a park admission. Either it's a travel day, so you're only at the resort for half a day, or you need a break in between your park days. It's a great idea. Or maybe you didn't plan too well, and you showed up and couldn't get
Right.
park reservation because it's a busy time of year. This is something you can do and get some of the Disney spirit without having to buy Genie Plus.
I love it. Yeah, and I have to mention, last month I went to Goofy's Kitchen for breakfast
Mm,
on a day where my annual Magic Key was blocked out. So we were doing all different, activities
hmm
around that were not involving the park. I haven't eaten there since before COVID. It was one of the best character dining experiences I ever had. The attention that the characters give you there was unbelievable. They spent so much time, and it was busy. I mean, pretty much every table
mm,
was packed. And also the breakfast does like chicken fingers and mac and cheese if you don't want breakfasty items. But
mm.
I highly recommend, if you're going to do a day not in the parks, try that breakfast because it was a really good value and we saw so many characters.
I am so glad to hear you say that because, I'd done some character meals on both coasts before COVID,
Yeah,
and it had gotten to the point where it just felt like a machine. Like they're just sort of rushing you through it. And I just, a couple days ago did the Hollywood and Dine with
hmm,
Minnie Mouse at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And I was impressed both the quality of the food I felt like was better than I remember from
right.
before. But also the characters really made the time to spend time with each and every table, and the staggering of the rotation, the timing of it was really well done. And I felt like I would rather spend the money on that meal than to spend the time in line waiting for a meet and greet with each of those
It
characters.
was super personal, and I'm so
Yeah,
glad to hear that because I'm not like a character dining person. And I was
yeah,
like, maybe I am. I don't
yep,
think I am. I just think it was a great
yeah.
experience.
I wouldn't necessarily do it on my own, but when you've got family, when you've got kids,
Right.
it's a really great way to do it. Okay, well, speaking of Disneyland holiday celebrations, right after New Year's, Disneyland launches into their Lunar New Year celebration, which is going to run from January 20th through February 15th.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite festivals. It's a little bit more low key, than their food and wine festival. Of course, it is celebrating this year the year of the cat, so the Vietnamese zodiac calendar, and the year of the rabbit in the Chinese zodiac calendar. And so, in addition to the food booths and stuff, entertainment is a big part of this. They do a lovely parade across, from Paradise Gardens all the way through Hollywood Land, and it's really nice. And the costumes are really, really unique.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see the return of Hurry Home, the Lunar New Year celebration pre-show before World of Color, because World of Color was down for a while. We had COVID, so I haven't gotten a chance to see that in quite a while. Um, and also, something else coming back I'm looking forward to is Raya from Raya and the Last Dragon. She got evicted from her meet and greet along the Redwood Creek Challenge
Yeah.
Trail by the Halloween event, but she's going to be back, and that's a great little meet and greet.
Oh yes, that was really popular. I also like all the arts and crafts that they do. They really
Hmm.
do a good job at this, even with like their Dia de las Muertes festival. They really pull out the stops, and it's some unique stuff that you can do with kind of like your entire family or
Hmm.
just you.
Yeah, they tuck in meet and greets with Mulan and Mushu and Mickey and Minnie, as well as some festival arts and crafts and educational displays, kind of back in that Paradise Gardens area. That kind of becomes the focus. And then they've also got the marketplaces, which sort of lead all the way around past the Little Mermaid ride. And this year there's two new ones, one called Bamboo Blessings, another one called Wrapped with Love, and they are joining the returning locations. So there should be plenty to nosh on.
Yes, and I'm curious. So last year, the lines were a bit of a cluster to get some of
Hmm.
the foods, and you were able to purchase from any of the booths at one booth and then go to the return line with the receipt. I'm not sure how that's going to play out this year. I'm definitely curious because it was really hard. Last year, I think I only got to try one thing. It was delicious. It was like a barbecue pork bun from the cappuccino cart. But I hope that they kind of figure out operational wise their
Yeah,
food thing because it's way different than like an Epcot festival, which I know the lines get long at Epcot, but it's like a system. So
yeah. I experienced a similar thing at the Food and Wine Festival at California Adventure,
um,
and it was interesting for those people who knew how to work that system. It could actually save you a lot of time because there were like two lines, one to pay and one to pick up at
right,
every single booth. So you could cut out one of those lines if you knew what you were doing, but it wasn't well communicated either with the employees or with the guests.
right.
And this is one case where I wish there was a mobile order option. So we'll see how it goes this year. But if you want more information about the celebration, go to the Disneyland.com website and look under events and tours for the Lunar New Year.
Yes.
And the last of our trifecta of Disneyland event news, California Adventures Food and Wine Festival, one of my favorites, is coming back from March 3rd through April 25th of 2023.
Yes, this is definitely one of my favorites of all the festivals on both coasts. Each year just kind of gets bigger,
Hmm.
better. The food quality has dramatically gotten better over maybe like the last 5 years. It is one that I look forward to. They have some really crazy concoctions. Like last year, they had that peanut butter mac and cheese that was, got a lot of people talking. They had really interesting.
You were braver than I. I,
Yeah,
I I couldn't do it.
yeah. So I'm excited for this. I can't wait to, learn more about the menus and whatnot.
Yeah, so this is centered on Disney California Adventure Park, but it also kind of spills out into some restaurants in downtown Disney and the hotels. And I tell people the way to do this is to buy the Sip and Savor
Yeah,
Pass. You get basically 8 little coupons. It's not good on alcohol. You're gonna have to pay a la carte for the alcohol, but for the mocktails and for the food, it can definitely save you money if you use all 8.
absolutely. And then you just take the price, divide it by 8, whatever
Mhm,
that number is, get stuff that's more expensive than that,
exactly,
under, purchase it outright, but you could definitely save quite a few bucks doing that.
absolutely. And a lot of my favorite booths look like they're back. Avocado Time,
Mhm.
Garlic Kissed, I heart artichokes. I absolutely do.
Yeah,
And Nuts About Cheese always has a great cheese plate. The thing I also recommend is in terms of value and flavor, I think that the vegetarian and the vegan dishes are generally better than the
Yes.
meat dishes.
Mhm.
Meats often get overcooked, and the seafood items are often like really expensive. Like you could find a larger portion of the same thing in a restaurant for about the same amount. But the vegetarian and the vegan stuff has never disappointed me.
I agree completely. Like you said, it's just hard to cook high volumes of meat
Mhm.
and it not get
Yeah,
disgusting. But
yeah.
you don't really have that problem with plant-based options, and it's fun because maybe you're trying something that you wouldn't normally order in
Mhm.
a restaurant. You know,
And then on the category of be fair to Florida, it kills me that the Food and Wine Festival in California has the thing that I miss so much from Epcot's festival, which is the culinary demonstrations,
Mhm.
the events with chefs, the signings. We've lost those. We lost those when COVID, and even though the festival's back here, we don't really have those anymore. But you can participate in all sorts of free weekend events. And they've also got lots of entertainment. The Jam and Chefs, Chef Goofy, and they've got an Alice's Wonderland bakery on birthday show. Kids get a free cupcake to
I
decorate.
liked that last year. I didn't
Yeah,
go in to get the cupcake, but I watched from far,
yeah,
and I thought it was really cute. So it's a nice
adorable.
addition. Yeah, and it's a bummer we don't have those back. I used to love them so
Be
much.
fair to Florida, darn it.
Yes, never. uh,
Um,
and then
and
also, yes, the big
we
news.
yes, of course, the real reason to go. Soarin' is back. The real Soarin' over California makes its return. This seems to be a regular thing now. Thank goodness. I don't hate Soarin' around the world like a lot of people do, but it is so refreshing to smell that orange scent again.
It is really good. And then, of course, there's extra add-on signature events.
Mhm.
One thing I've been dying to do is the Trader Sam's mixology seminars. Those
Ooh,
pop up like so quickly; it's really hard to
I,
get in them. So
I can imagine. Yeah, they've also got Carthay Circle winemaking receptions, a Craftsman Grill mixology seminar over at the Californian, and a grand tasting event at Disneyland Hotel. We should get invited to that.
yes, we're available.
Yeah, I don't know if they've released those yet, but Disneyland.com, keep an eye on that. And as soon as those open up, you're going to want to book that immediately. All right. Well, I hope that this falls right in the middle of when Toontown is going to reopen. So hope I can coordinate a trip out
Yes.
there. Kill two birds with one stone. All
Mhm.
right. So we are moving on from Disneyland and heading back to Orlando, where the Max Action Arena has opened at Icon Park, and that includes axe throwing and virtual reality. And our reporter Theron went and checked it out for us.
I have to give him commencement for the opening line. This new experiences centers offer a hangout spot for those old enough to be trusted with axes. I almost passed out when
I'm not sure that any of us from Attractions Magazine should really be trusted with axes, you know.
oh my god, I laughed so hard.
But if you watch the video, they give it a shot, and axe throwing is not as easy as it may appear. If you watching Lord of the Rings or whatever, it's not as simple.
I feel like you could throw
I'm
your back out doing
I,
it. I don't know.
yeah, or you could put your eye out,
Right.
as they say. Well, if you want to give it a shot, you can do it at the Max Action Arena, which is located in the Icon Park district, right below the Big Wheel. And if axe throwing is a little violent for you, there are
Yes.
also adventure rooms, escape rooms, virtual reality, and most importantly, free parking.
Ooh, yes. I know we had talked about this because we're like, what's the difference between an adventure room and an escape room?
Okay, I think I know because I watched Theron,
Okay.
and they have an escape room that is actually one that was located elsewhere in that Icon Park complex and has just been relocated. And I did that, and that was like a science fiction. You're trying to escape from a
Mhm.
planet in a spaceship, and that was like a traditional escape room that took like 30 to 60 minutes. The adventure rooms are like little mini escape rooms. It's like a
Ooh.
small room, it's got some of the trappings of an escape room, but you've only got 3 minutes to do it. And honestly, I watched the video of him trying it, and I did not. I, I didn't get it at all. Like I would have failed miserably. 3
Interesting.
minutes, and I
I
still
would
would have
like
been figuring
this.
out where I was. So
Because those escape rooms, I mean, the 60-minute ones feel like forever sometimes
right,
because you're it's frustrating, but
sure.
that's interesting. I like that.
Well, honestly, the thing that I think is the biggest highlight of this is the zero latency virtual reality. Because zero latency was one of the first free roaming VRs that I did. They used to be located in Point Orlando, and that location shut down. But honestly, other than the Void, which was the Star Wars VR, that's
Mhm.
rest in peace. Um, I think zero latency is probably the best in the business right now, and so it's really great to see that they have a new location, and the new location uses their new wireless system, so you don't even have to wear a computer on a backpack.
That's
It's
cool.
all just wireless to the headset. It's really cool.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm very curious. I mean, I love that it feels like every other week we're talking about Icon Park. They
Hmm.
keep building up. But again, it's a great option, for you're doing one day not in the parks. You have to
Yes,
do something. And, at least these are a little bit more affordable than maybe going to a theme park.
absolutely. Yeah, because especially since we talked about last time the vast increase in 1 day theme park pricing. This is, you're. I think a lot of kids, just like a lot of kids, when we do surveys for the unofficial guides, their favorite thing about their vacation was not any of the rides or restaurants; it was the pool at the hotel. Some of these smaller attractions that they might not seem as impressive to you, to a 10-year-old, are just as cool as Disney World, and there's a lot less whining because there's a lot less standing in line.
Nail on head. And it's like even like a classic like arcade. Like we'd be like,
Hmm.
oh, a dirty old arcade. I mean, kids can spend hours in there and
Yeah.
at the pool, and they don't know the difference. They're happy.
They're kids. What do they know? All right. Well, if you want more information about the Max Action Arena, you can customize your visit by visiting maxactionarena.com/Orlando. And for our last bit of news in the queue, Legoland, Florida is gearing up with festive holiday sparkle for their Holidays at Legoland event, running now through December 31st.
Yes, and I love that this everything is included in your normal park admission. So the show, getting access to all the specialty treats, pictures with the tree, it's all in your regular park admission.
Yes, and this year that includes a couple new holiday shows. Over in the Lego Kingdoms area, they are going to have Snope. Yes, that's
Ooh.
Florida snow made out of soap. And they're going to have nightly blizzards to holiday music for the kids to dance in. As well as Lego City is going to have King's Court carolers singing Yuletide tunes in front of the 30-foot tall Christmas tree.
Which looks beautiful. And then there is a North Pole Postal Service
Hmm.
that your kids can go, or you can go and write, letters to Santa.
Yep, and you can see it instantly delivered on a digital
Ooh.
screen, so you know it's made it there. You don't need like a tracking receipt or. And of course, there are character meet and greets with Lego Santa, the Lego Gingerbread Man, Lego Toy Soldiers, lots of photo ops with the stars of the Lego movie, and you can participate in builds like helping create a Lego holiday wreath or Santa's brick sleigh.
Yes, and then the treats look so good. There's one, if you're watching, it's a Holly Jolly Christmas cake. And this is
Mm.
beautiful. It's multi-layered with red velvet cake. In between, there's little layers of cream cheese frosting. And then at the top, they have like beautiful green icing. It has
Ooh.
stars cascading. It looks lovely.
Well, my favorite snack there has always been the apple fries,
Oh, yes.
and they've got a seasonal version that's gingerbread spiced, and the dip is cookie butter.
Sounds
So
insane.
yes, please. Um, so and the if you want to stick around for their big New Year's Eve celebration, it takes place at the family-friendly hour of 8 p.m. So you can have your fireworks and the brick drop and all of that. going to be happening nightly from the 26th through the 31st, and you can get the kids in bed long before midnight.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea for me too.
Yep. If you don't already have a pass to Legoland and you are listening today, they've still got some Cyber Monday sales. If you're listening to this live, head on over to legolandflorida.com for more information. All right. Well, that is just going to wrap up our news in the queue. Before we jump into this week's main attraction, it's time to hear a word from our sponsor.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at mei-travel.com.
It's time for the main attraction!
All right, and for this week's main attraction, exciting new details have been released about Epcot's upcoming Moana water walk-through. And thanks to a good friend of the podcast, BioReconstruct on Twitter, we've got some zoomed-in aerial views of the construction.
Yeah, this is a long time coming.
Oh boy, yeah.
Long time. I feel like Epic Universe is going to be here, and we're still going to be like, there's construction updates for Moana.
This is the world's longest in development splash pad. No, I'm sorry. This is more than a splash pad.
Yes.
This is a walk-through attraction that is taking over a chunk of what used to be once upon a time Communicore West. In the front section of Epcot, and is obviously themed to the film Moana, but it is also kind of an educational, ecological journey through the life cycle of water, which is very important. So as the Imagineering team says, that it's going to give guests the opportunity to discover characters from the film carved into the rocks and waterway, and that it is going to be a self-guided trail opening up next year that will let guests discover how Moana and her friends truly inspired the surroundings of this experience.
It looks nice. I think it is going to be fun to walk through and try to spot different things in the stonework, because whenever Disney does stonework, it's absolutely unbelievable. Cars Land at California Adventure is like a good example of how crazy they are with the stonework and the attention to detail, and seeing it this close is going to be amazing.
Yeah, the Imagineering Instagram account released some close-up photos, and my favorite is the one of the Kakamora. It's the little face that's been carved into the rock, and I'm sure these are going to be like the hidden Mickeys of this area that you're going to have to search for them all over. But there's also some really beautiful work they've done turning concrete into shells and coral. So, I'm sure a lot of great artistry is going into this experience.
Absolutely. So we'll keep an eye out. Hopefully this is a 2023 thing.
Yes, we've been promised 2023. We don't have a date. If you want to see more of it, you can go to our website, and we've got lots of pictures. Again, thanks to BioReconstruct on Twitter. Or hop on the monorail. Take that monorail between Epcot and the TTC. And as you're coming into Epcot, you'll do that loop around, and it will give you some pretty good views down into the construction site.
Oh yeah, I love, like, even when Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind was being built, I love taking that monorail just so you could peek down and see like what's really going on. And that's how you get your best construction updates.
Absolutely. It looks like the key photo op is going to be the Heart of Te Fiti, which is this monumental rock. If you look at our picture, you can see the scale. There's a little piece of construction equipment down here, so you can see just how tall that's going to be. And it's from the concept art is going to have water flowing down it. Should definitely make a great selfie spot.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So 2023, hopefully this will, not just open up a new attraction, but reopen that center of Epcot that has just been a big, dirt
Cluster.
pit for for so long, and restore the proper crowd flow through the front half of Epcot.
Please, yes.
So
Much needed.
looking forward to seeing that open within the next 6 months, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll
See.
see. All right. Well, thank you, all of you, for joining us, listening to us today. I'm sure we will be back with more news. John, I don't know if this is a bit of breaking news. John Self is telling us in the comments that Bob Iger is going forward with the hiring freeze plans that Bob Chapek has announced. I will get confirmation on that and maybe talk about that next week.
Yeah.
Until then, before we go, want to thank our sponsors once again, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And I also want to remind you all to please give us a review on Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating on Spotify. If you want to find more coverage from us and Attractions Magazine on the interweb, Carly, where can everyone find you?
Yes, I am on Twitter at Carly Caramana and Instagram at Adventures by Carly.
And I am at the UG Series on Twitter, at the Unofficial Guides on Instagram, and at theunofficialguides.com, where you can buy a copy of my new book. Woo! But most importantly, you can find the entire Attractions team at attractionsmagazine.com, on Twitter at Attractions Magazine on Instagram, at youtube.com/attractionsmagazine, and at Attractions on TikTok. And until next week, we hope you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun.
Yes.
We'll see you again next time. Bye.